So, hello, welcome to the EFT Tap Along for our rest focused theme. And as always, I think you all know the tapping points inside of the eyebrow, outside of the eye, under the eye, the nose, the chin, the thymus. So, with the palm of the hand tapping on the collarbone. So, the collarbone is the actual tapping point. But I learned it's not typically part of the shortcut, but it's a really comforting thing to do. So sometimes if you don't have time to do the full tap along, you can just tap this thymus area, but it's the collarbone, and you might use both hands as you go around. And then we move to the side of the bra strap for women who wear bras and the top of the head. So all of this is on the site, on the EFT page. If you type that into the search page, or if you include a question in your donkey deliberations, I can send you a link or answer. But I'm going to incorporate as much as I can from the feedback I've had from people by email and in the group just now. And I initially want you to think about, even though I find it hard to rest, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So when you think about that statement, even though I find it hard to rest, just get a sense of how true that feels for you right now. 0 being neutral, like it is, but you don't really have strong feelings about it one way or another. -10 being like, yes, no matter how hard I try, it's impossible. I can't fit in. I really need more rest. So that's -10. And +10 is like, rest. I get all the rest I could possibly need. It's all good. I don't need this tap along. Just get a sense of whatever number you're at and make a note of it. So we're going to use the side of the hand. This is the more traditional setup statement point, but sometimes we use the sore spot when we're working with deep held beliefs. But for this, even though I find it hard to rest, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So we say that 3 times. Even though I find it hard to rest, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I find it hard to rest, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I know the benefits of rest. I tell other people about the benefits of rest. I'm not doing it myself. I'm staying up too late. I'm trying to fit in too many things. I have unrealistic expectations of myself. I have unrealistic expectations of others in my life, because anything that other people aren't doing is an unrealistic expectation. There's no point arguing with reality. And yet, when I feel rested, I'm less likely to do that. I'm more likely to feel able to cope with irritations and anything else that needs my attention in a more focused, clear way. And yet I continue to deprive myself of basic rest. Even 10 minutes is hard. Even the idea of setting myself a wind down time each evening, part of it appeals, part of it feels impossible. There's a part of me that thinks I don't want to. And that's okay. I can get better at resting. My capacity for rest will go up and down. I can still make the most of all the times I have more energy, when I'm up cleaning gutters before breakfast. And I can give myself literally a break when I need it. I no longer need my body to scream at me. I don't need my body to yell at me with symptoms. I can pay attention to the times I feel less focused, less clear, and give myself a break. It might be a 5-minute break. It might be a 1-minute break. It might be a 1-hour break. It might be a day off. It might be a holiday. I deserve rest. I'm a human being. I'm a human being. I'm not a human doing. I can give myself those snoozy afternoons. I can forget those worries about work. I can get into a more regular sleep routine. I can do whatever I want to do, and more rest will help me do this. And when I'm human and I get carried away with things, that's okay. I can get back on track. I don't have to make rest into something torturous. I don't have to make rest another stick to beat myself up with when I'm not doing it perfectly. Rest is a natural state of being. Our bodies have that rest digest response, which is the opposite to the stress response or when we get excited. So rest digest helps us to sleep and it helps us to digest our food. I welcome more rest. So taking a big breath in. And if you're watching the video, I encourage you to pause here and journal and continue tapping on what you come up with. And I will come back with the Yoga Nidra. So welcome to the Yoga Nidra part of our rest themed week. And as you probably know, as well as it being a state of deep rest, we're harnessing the power of the unconscious mind as we connect with our unconscious mind and use all our senses to imagine what we want to happen. We're also giving the brain, the mind, enough to work with quite detailed ongoing instructions. Your mind will wander, you're a human being, like sometimes with a physical yoga practice, sometimes you'll be stronger, more flexible, more balanced. Other days you might topple out of simple balances that you used to do really easily, or you might feel less flexible or weaker. Give yourself a break. Allow yourself to rest into this Yoga Nidra without putting pressure on yourself to do anything perfectly, this or anything else. But it can help us go into a deeper state of rest, partly because it gives ourselves that permission to daydream. So if you've read the blog this week, I've included the top 10 ways people reported they rested. And one important element is doing nothing in particular. And the number one way, reading, it allowed people to daydream. So daydreaming comes into it a lot. And while I'm very much encouraging you for the full benefits of the Yoga Nidra, to focus, to go through each of the stages, each of the instructions, to let your attention come back when you notice your mind has wandered, to also recognize that the mind wandering is a very natural, normal thing to happen, and bring it back with love, with care, with compassion, like you're gently learning to cultivate the mind, but make it as restful an experience for yourself as possible. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. So if you're lying down, maybe have a stretch, get any wriggles out, fingers and toes, maybe just move in whatever way feels good to help you then rest your body as much as possible as we move through the instructions. If at any point you need to move, if you need to itch, if you need to get rid of a cramp, if you need to deal with anything, obviously do that. But before doing so, give yourself that choice. Remind yourself that you don't have to do anything. We can also have an extra blanket nearby or an eye mask that can really help withdrawing off the senses and helping make rest more easy without those external stimuli the whole time. And it might be that you want to keep your eyes open even, which is completely fine. You know what's right for you. So making yourself comfortable, becoming aware of any sounds inside the room and outside the room. Maybe any sounds you hear from my ends. It might be that you're on a busy road or by a train track, or that you've got lots of noise outside the room. That's going to make it harder to rest than if you're in a serene, really quiet place. But at the same time, life is rarely serene and quiet. We always have things going on. So even though where you are now might make it a more advanced practice, it's a more practical practice as well. So give yourself a break if you find your focus harder to channel because of noise, but keep attempting to focus, if that makes sense. So noticing how the ground or sofa or mat or bed or whatever you're lying or sitting on feels below you. If you're lying down, aim to have the head, neck and spine nicely aligned. Allow the feet to rest. Allow the palms to be slightly apart from the body, palms facing up. And if you feel more comfortable on your belly or on your side, that's absolutely fine. Or if you have low blood pressure, you might want to be sitting down, or if for whatever reason you prefer to sit down, doing so. Just let yourself rest and relax into this nidra. And bringing your sankalpa to mind now, that positive intention or resolve. Using all your senses to make it as vivid as possible for yourself. So imagining what you can see, what you can hear, what you can feel, any smells or tastes, and the physical sensation as well, the emotional feeling as well, the feeling that feels most prominent, that's going to help draw you towards those actions that make reaching your sankalpa possible in your day-to-day life. But for now, just really letting yourself imagine it becoming a reality for you more easily, more enjoyably than you could have dreamed. So letting yourself really connect with that feeling of relaxation and knowing that whatever your sankalpa, it's going to be much, much easier to reach it when you feel relaxed, when you allow yourself enough rest. So starting the rotation of consciousness, working around the body. So starting with the right hand thumb and mentally following along. Right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, and the little finger. The palm of the hand, the back of the hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, right side of the waist, hip, thigh, knee, calf muscle, shin, ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the little toe. Bringing the awareness now to the left side of the body, the left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, and the little finger, palm of the hand, the back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, left side of the waist, hip, thigh, knee, calf muscle, shin, ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the little toe. Bringing the awareness now to the very base of the spine, the lower back, the middle of the back, and the upper back, the back of the neck, the back of the head. Now the front of the body, the pelvis, reproductive area, lower abdomen, navel, upper abdomen, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, middle of the chest, the throat, the face, the right eye and the left eye, the right ear and the left ear, the nose, the mouth, the whole of the face, the whole of the head, the whole of the body. Getting a sense of the whole of the body lying on the mat. No need to expand or contract. Just allowing yourself to take a few complete breaths here. Finding a part of the body that naturally feels cooler right now. connecting with that sense of coolness, using your imagination to think of a time, remember a time when you felt even cooler, maybe pleasantly cold. And now it's opposite, finding a part of the body that naturally feels warmer, connecting with that warmth, noticing where you feel it most strongly. And again, using your imagination or your memory to think of a time when you felt even warmer, maybe pleasantly hot. So noticing where you feel both as you switch, feeling one, then the other in your own time, but really connecting with that coolness, connecting with that warmth, knowing that in doing so, you're strengthening that observer part of yourself. You're remembering you're more than your feelings. Aiming to feel both at the same time if that's possible for you. Letting them go and thinking of a time when you felt at rest, just deeply relaxed and at ease. Thinking about that moment, what you were doing or what you had been doing, how it felt in your body to feel completely rested. And thinking of another time when you didn't, when you felt stressed or anxious or agitated or anything, especially around you're not giving yourself enough time to rest. So maybe feeling exhausted or burnt out or overwhelmed. Noticing where you feel that in your body as you even think about or remember or imagine it. And again, switching back and forth in your own time between that sense of rest, that peace, that ease, and that sense of the opposite of rest, feeling agitated, feeling exhausted, feeling overburdened and incapable of slowing down. Noticing if it's possible to feel both at the same time, and then letting them go. Allowing yourself to connect with that intuitive part of yourself that again is so much stronger when we're rested, but allowing it to come forth now. You may feel it at the eyebrow center, you may feel it somewhere else. You may get images of like vision or a thought or hear music or see color or something to help your highest self for your highest goods. And you may get it now, you may get it later, but being open to that intuitive wisdom that you can access whenever you choose, but are connecting with now. Welcoming any insights. Letting it go, knowing you can reconnect with that intuitive part of yourself anytime you choose. But for now, taking a moment to connect with that joyful part of you. That sense like when you get the giggles inappropriately and you can't stop laughing and you have joy permeating from every pore, or it may feel deeper, it may feel buried even. You may have to remember the last time you felt joy or even contentment, but giving yourself permission to delve deeper, to remember that joy is your birthright. Whatever you've been through, whatever gets in the way of you having fun and experiencing joy now, taking a moment to imagine or remember or feel it. Notice where you feel it in your body as you even think about it. Okay, letting that go for now and connecting with that expansive part of yourself, that limitless part of yourself, that part of you that's so much more than whatever you've been through, whatever you're struggling with now, whatever you're worried about in the future. That part of you that is unique and whole and complete, like a drop in the ocean, a grain of sand on the beach, a blade of grass in a meadow, a petal on a flower, a star in the galaxy. Maybe taking a moment to imagine yourself as one of these. Letting it go for now, knowing you can reconnect with that expansive energy anytime you choose, giving yourself a different perspective on your life, and coming back to your sankalpa, that positive intentional resolve from the start of the practice. Noticing if any additional insights come up for you. Any next steps. Maybe thinking of something you would do if you felt rested enough to have the energy and focus. Or maybe even how you could do less, take a tinier step in that direction to give yourself a break. And bringing your awareness back to the breath, noticing your breath as it moves around the body, using the exhalations in your own time to help release any energies, as if gently sweeping them away and out, down through the tips of the fingers, tips of the toes, up through the crown of the head, but allowing yourself to release those energies you no longer need. And then once you've done that, allowing each exhalation to fill you with love and light and rest, just helping to recharge and heal every cell in your being. So imagining a light energy going through you with each out breath. Bringing your awareness back to the room you're in, back to the body, back to how you're feeling in this moment, and whether you want to wriggle, stretch, curl up. Noticing any sounds inside the room, outside the room. You may have heard rainbow, apologies. But let yourself come up to a sitting position if you've not been in one, and allow yourself to return to normal awareness, feeling rested, recharged, and refreshed. So I look forward to hearing how that felt for you in your donkey deliberation. So I recommend you journal around your experience and then share what feels comfortable for you to share with me.